Okay, Mr. Stonechild, you are suing the defendant, Ms. Turner, for $2,627.
That's correct.
Because you claim you had some losses, damages in your businesses due to a defamatory post?
Yes, she performed a very unfair, inaccurate, and untrue review of my little dessert shop on her website, causing my business to lose money in the last 2 months.
All right, and then Ms. Turner, you are a food critic. What are you?
Yes, so I am a food blogger. I own a food blog, and I travel around the U.S. and I go to different restaurants.
And how old are you?
I am 23.
Okay, and what kind of training do you have to be a food blogger?
So I don't have any training, but I work very, very hard at my job. I went in high school, I was always in the writing programs, so I very much try to make my
So you're a good
posts.
writer?
Yes.
You like to use adjectives and be creative and use different, okay.
Yes.
So what makes you an expert in what you do? And what type of restaurant or food are you better at critiquing?
I would say that I am not an expert, and that's why people love to read my blogs, because they're not biased. They're not from someone who is, has studied this, knows how to cook. They're just from another person. They're from a young girl who, likes to look at new restaurants and see if they're going to be the next big thing, and whether they should go there and bring their family and friends there and have a good time.
Well, so I guess that's what I'm getting at. What type of influence do you have?
So I have over 200,000 followers, and again, like I go to new places, and I go to any place. I go to food trucks.
Okay.
I go to stalls. I go to amazing, beautiful restaurants.
Okay. All right. So then, what happened, Mr. Stonechild?
Well, she came to my place and bought some desserts, and I was happy, and then didn't have much to say, didn't comment, didn't want to talk too much, which is fine. I noticed on her sweatshirt was the word food-affiliate. So I looked it up out of curiosity, and it was her blog. But she has a blog,
what was
a
the
very
word on your shirt?
popular blog.
Food-affiliate. It's the name of my blog.
Okay.
Food-affiliate.
All right. Did you ask her? Did you let him know you were a food critic, or you're I don't know if I want to call you food critic, but that's what you like to do on your blog? Did you tell him that?
So I did not. I like to get honest reactions from people and natural experiences that I can tell my followers.
Was he
about.
very nice when you walked in?
Does anyone else feel like this judge is being really combative? Like, I thought the point of a judge was to sort of take people's different opinions. And immediately, my feeling on this case, by the way, is that free speech should be protected. She's entitled to her opinion. She's not saying there's rats in the kitchen or anything. She's saying, I don't like the food. This judge is questioning her credibility. She's really hitting it home that she's essentially insinuating you shouldn't have been allowed to do what you did on your own blog with your own opinion. We'll see what direction it goes from here.
He was nice, yes. He was, he had good customer service. However, as soon as I started picking out food of the pastries, he started just basically ranting at me about veganism and how meat is destroying the planet, and anyone who eats it is like a bad person. And it's not that I'm against that, but I don't want to be lectured at. When I am paying the money, I don't want to be lectured at.
Okay, so did you tell him, thank you for your opinion, but I'm here to buy desserts?
I didn't
why don't you just walk out?
Because I have, because this was a new place in this little town, and I was in the town for a week.
You didn't have to write a food critique on it. You could have just walked out. If he was annoying you, why don't you just walk out?
Because him annoying me is part of what I want to write about. The service is part of it. That's very important.
So because he was annoying, you wanted to write about it. So it's not really about the food.
It's about all of it. It's about the entire experience.
Has anybody thought you were annoying?
I mean, I guess everyone's been annoying in their life, but generally I don't get that. Generally, people really value our interactions.
Okay. All right. So then what happened? She bought the desserts.
Well, I looked at the website out of curiosity, and I found that she had a very nice food blog. It was very professionally looking webpage, and a lot of followers, and so I was pleased. But then I found out that she had immediately written a negative review in my name of my business. The name of my business is
What
called
did she
Vegan
write about you?
Sweets, and she called it Dirty Sweets.
Dirty sweets. Why
And
dirty?
this
Let me
is
see.
what she. It's a graphic. It looks a little too professionally done. That's what makes me see. And this is her short review of my business. If
So
you
she
could-
only did
if you
the
would allow
short
me to
review
read
and
it,
that's it.
It's a little bit.
She only did the
it's quite
short
negative.
review. I thought you were a good writer.
I believe I'm a good writer, but writing is subjective, and so is food. So,
I thought you liked to use really good words and adjectives and.
I mean, I think those evoke the correct image.
You didn't like the vegan desserts?
I did not, no.
Why?
Because I think, pastries should be sweet and delicate and delicious and creamy, and his food was none of that. It tasted like sand. I don't think I've written this bad a review for anybody else in my entire 4 years.
So the desserts from Vegan Sweets, Vegan Dirty Sweets review. The desserts from Vegan Sweets were so awful it tasted like burnt grass and sand-covered seaweed. Anyone who eats this would want to vomit, will not be back.
Yes.
Foodophilian, Cassidy, Emma Turner. Okay, all right. And
Your
then
Honor,
what
that's,
happened? So she posted this,
yes.
Mr. Stonechild. What else happened?
Your Honor, she may have felt that way about the dessert, but that's a trend in culinary dessert making. There's a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of sourness, a little bit of saltiness you might taste, and it's all
But
about.
this is one person's opinion about your desserts,
Yes,
right?
and also it's all about that richness in the flavors that
Okay,
you.
but so then you're saying because she
Yes.
posted this blog or this opinion, this very short paragraph.
Yes, it seemed
2
to have
lines,
effect. It seemed to have a big effect.
It affected you because why?
I made money in the first many months of opening this little shop, and then after she left, I lost money those 2 months.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Stonechild?
Well, this just shows a little bit of numbers about what
I
I,
have
did
the
lose.
invoice, yeah,
If
I have
that's,
the invoice.
if
Is
that,
there anything
that
else
just
you'd like
shows
to
my
give?
loss for the last 2 months. This is a review that was written by another person that gave me 5 stars.
That's fine. Cinder.
And these are from her website here, and you might want to see these.
I mean, people, you're allowed to have your opinion, right? Like, what's he saying? She didn't like food, this sort of food, so she shouldn't come here in the first place. If you're a food blogger, I feel like part of your job is to go places you don't like to see if your opinion might change. And here's the thing: if people who like that sort of food, if they know you don't, then they're not going to be like followers or members of your blog. Like, I don't understand what this guy's saying here. Like, she shouldn't be able to post things online that, are in line with her opinion, but not in line with mine. Like, is he saying that she somehow materially damaged his business? Do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think she materially damaged this man's business? In the meantime, let's see what the judge has to say.
This is why I feel that she's getting help from the dairy and the meat industry, because her graphics are very nicely made by a graphics person. And that one says veganism is a cult. The other one says
it's just not, you just don't write reviews. You just don't like vegans, right? I mean, veganism is the most dangerous cult, so it's not just reviews. So you just think veganism is bad, right?
In my experience,
Vegan food, my dog wouldn't eat this.
everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but it seems like you, for some reason, don't like vegan restaurants. All right. Anything else, Mr. Stonechild? Any other evidence? Anything else?
Yes, I would like to give you, I have some tarts here for you to try, and you can
Okay.
decide for yourself if you might like to try them. Here they are. One is a chocolate, vanilla is there.
I just don't understand, if you don't like vegan
raspberry
food, if you don't like vegan food,
and
why
lemon.
would you go to a vegan restaurant to critique it? If I don't eat meat, why would I go to the best steakhouse in the city to critique it if I don't eat meat? It just makes no sense.
Because
how
I believe that
believable is that?
I believe that my opinion is valid, and I believe that I have a right to say what I want, and that's how this world works. We all have our opinions.
Unfortunately, that's
I
how
don't
it
think
works.
so. I think fortunately. I think everyone has a valid, beautiful, amazing opinion.
You are actually, what you're doing, and you don't understand, what you're doing is you're actually playing with somebody's livelihood.
He's playing with my livelihood. This is my
How?
livelihood.
How?
This is how I make money, is my
How?
food blog.
Well, how do you think he makes money? Did he post anything about you? Did he go out and say that you're a horrible food critic and that you're rude and insensitive and a little entitled? Did he say that to anybody in the whole world?
No, but he's suing me for a lot of money. That means a lot to me.
So what am I eating? This is a chocolate one.
That's the chocolate one, yes, and it has
That's pretty good.
vegan cheese,
Looks good.
agave.
That's pretty darn
sweetener.
good.
Okay. Does it now suddenly feel like it's not court proceedings? Like, did you bring me any goodies from your shop that I can then expose as being delicious while this horrible vegan-hating food blogger is claiming is not good? Oh, you did! They set that up. I mean, there's no way he brought that to court without being directed to bring it to court. I mean, let's see what she thinks of the food, I guess, but it's weird to me.
You want to try?
Organic cocoa beans,
That's delicious.
freshly ground, freshly made.
I have time to try them all?
Everything is organic and
Yeah.
natural and wholesome.
Wow, it's really good.
And
what's the one with the black raspberry?
Yes, that's the black raspberry.
No, which is
and
this
that
one?
one has the
The coconut?
the
Oh my
coconut,
God.
yeah, the coconut. Yes.
Save me some.
Obviously, this is my opinion that these are delicious. I mean, outrageously delicious. That chocolate one is insane. Getting back to the claim, Mr. Stonechild, in order to prove damages from a defamation of character, because that's what you're saying, she defamed your restaurant, she defamed your dessert, she defamed your work. The problem with food blogs or food reviews is that everybody has a right to their opinion, right? Unless they are full of malice or they are derogatory or degrading. Her blog was not very nice. It was a little cruel. It was a little unkind, but unfortunately, it's protected under something that is called an opinion. So based on the evidence, I find no defamation of character, and based on the food blog that she wrote about your dessert place, be very proud because they are very delicious. Do you mail these?
I can.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Now we know that's our next Christmas present for the court. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank goodness. I tell you what, I'm not sure I'm a big fan of this judge now. Free speech is very important, and that should mostly applies to opinions you don't want to hear. Like, if it's free speech but only for stuff that I agree with, then it's not free speech. You know what I mean? Like a food blogger saying they don't like a place. Well, their sphere of influence now might be swayed towards not liking the place, but not every sphere of influence. And look, maybe she went to the vegan restaurant. What this judge was implying, it felt like she had come up with her opinion ahead of time, which was, this is an entitled girl. I don't understand this whole online, blogging situation. Doesn't seem that important. She tried to demean her training. It's like, that's not what food blogs are about. There are very professional ones where they might be a trained food critic, but most food blogs are people who are passionate about food at giving their opinion to people who want to hear their opinion about that food. You know what I mean? So the whole time, oh, you just wanted to go right nasty thing. No, she'd probably, who knows? You're assuming that. And then saying, do you want to try this in front of everyone? I think it's delicious. Well, that's sort of the point. So your opinion to say on this television show that you like it is just as protected as my opinion to say I don't like it on my food blog. I don't understand what the problem was here. And the fact that she said several times, unfortunately, she can't be censored, sorry, not censored, well, both really, but censored because of her negative opinion. Well, it's only a negative opinion if you don't agree with it. Otherwise, it's a thank goodness you let me know I as well don't like vegan food. I won't go there. Thank you very much. It just depends on where you're coming from. So I'm glad she upheld the law. I'm a little bit alarmed that a judge was saying that it's unfortunate that a food blogger gets to say what they want on their own on their food blog. That's a little bit alarming. So let me know what you think in the comments below.